I'm happier that I exist than that I don't. And happiness is certainly a good thing. I would prefer to exist rather than not exist. But if my existence is in fact awful, if I am in constant pain and agony with no hope of recovery, then I think an argument can be made that it would be better for me not to exist than to exist, which is why I support death with dignity and people's right to decide when to end their life.
Wouldn't it be greater to not feel pain rather than to feel pain?
Sure.
This caller believes it's better to not exist, that it would have been better to not be born. But I must point out, you already didn't exist, yet a life was still imposed. So how can not existing be better if it can't even stop a life from being imposed? All it took for you to exist is for a life to come to exist. You didn't exist, but then a life was born, and so said life was the one imposed. So this shows us that non-existence wasn't able to stop a life from being imposed. So, in a hypothetical world where you were never born, we must ask, were other lives born? Yes, billions of lives, humans, and animals were born at your time of birth, and billions of lives are currently being born. So, had you never been born, what would have stopped one of those other lives from being the one imposed? Clearly, non-existence isn't capable of stopping a life from being imposed. If you imagine a universe completely devoid of all life, but then a single life came to exist, that would be the life that does the imposition, just as your lack of existence wasn't able to stop this life, the one watching this video, from being imposed. Your lack of existence wouldn't have been able to stop some other life from being imposed. Therefore, if all life involves some level of suffering, we cannot assume that not existing would be better. This also applies to death. Death, too, could result in an even worse life being imposed.